Alright, Merts, welcome to the CineMerts podcast with Max Coulson and Levi Johnson. We're a couple of guys who like films. We like films about bears, films about scares, films about chairs, films about lairs. Today we watched Aliens.
The best one. It's really good.
I disagree. Don't get me wrong. It's not that I don't like it, because I actually do like the movie. And I like it more than I remembered liking it as well. I enjoyed it quite a bit. But I still prefer Alien 3 and Alien. And Alien vs. Predator. I'm joking.
I don't mind Alien
I don't hate
versus
Alien vs.
Predator,
Predator,
yeah.
but Aliens is definitely a better movie. But yeah, we watched Aliens, and it is a good movie. It's definitely a good movie, although I will disagree with you on it being the best in the series. But
I feel like it is. Okay, so Alien isn't super clear in my mind right now, because maybe it has been a little while. But I also feel that that's partly Alien as well. For me, like, I like Alien, and spoiler for when eventually we do this, but like, it really should be the Terminator 1 and this is the Terminator 2, where I just love Terminator 1 so much more because it's just a better movie. Like, yeah, come at me. Like, I'm not gonna like qualify it any further than that. You gotta watch that podcast when that happens eventually one day. Terminator 1 is just clearly a far superior movie.
yeah, I agree.
But Aliens just does everything for me, whereas the first Alien kind of didn't. Like, I kind of on an intellectual level understand why the movie is good, but I'm like, yeah, like Aliens though, like it actually has stakes. I feel invested in the characters a lot more.
I will say the characters in Aliens are better.
Yeah,
I'm not going to disagree with you on that. I do like some of the characters in Alien, but they tend to be more the peripheral characters, and they're much smaller.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, most of the cast is whittled away quite early on in Alien, really. So,
yeah.
Whereas Aliens, I feel like you get to spend more time with the characters and see how they interact with each other, and it means that.
Yeah, then when shit hits the fan, it starts getting like more and more like sad to see. You're like, oh no, like I like that guy.
Yeah, I won't disagree with you there. I mean, we'll get more into it. I guess we should do a plot rundown first. Aliens, in a way, picks up right on the heels of Alien, and in a way, kind of doesn't. For Ripley, it's immediately afterwards.
Yeah.
She's been in cryosleep, which is what happens right at the end of the first movie. And she gets woken up by a team kind of, I guess, similar to the one that she was in.
Yeah.
Right, where they're just trying to look for scrap. They're kind of hoping at least everyone will be dead, and then they can just, like, get whatever's there.
Juicy salvage.
Yeah. Instead, they find Ripley, and
again with the sorry, we were talking about combining universes. Like, no, our thoughts there was, should have just been the team of the Fireflies. Like, watch what we got.
But yeah, they take Ripley to I guess the company, like Weyland-Yutani, and it turns out she's been frozen for, I think, 57 years.
Yep. Well remembered.
Yeah, I'm terrible with numbers as well, so I don't know why that's stuck. But yeah, they
Oh, just a heads up, we watched the director's cut version.
Yes, we did watch the director's cut, which is a fair bit longer, I think.
Yeah. I think it's like nearly 40 minutes longer. Cause
something like that.
Nearly 2 hours. It's like 2:37 or something like that.
Yeah. They take her to the company, and she kind of tells her story to them. Goes over the plot of the first movie. Fortunately, we don't hear that recap. It's just that is off screen. The movie just assumes, like, you know what Alien is. It's not common. You know what fucking Alien is. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Right? So, but the company don't appear to not believe her. They're like, yeah, well, that.
They're like, they've been on that planet for the last 25 years. So, like, and they've never come across any aliens.
It's like it's one ship.
Yeah, I know. Like,
It's one fucking ship
you-
on a whole planet.
you made a super good point. You were like, yeah, that's literally like a guy being like, hey man, I've been on Earth for like 25 years. I've never seen a kangaroo.
yeah. That's it's literally it's so ridiculous. Like it's a fucking planet. The planet from the first movie, where the space jockey has been colonized, and they're doing terraforming on the planet, and the company basically are like, yeah, well, like I say, they've been there for 20 years, and we're not seeing anything, so it's fine. And then conveniently, immediately after that, well, not really, because
It's
there's
not
a time
convenient,
jump. There
but-
is a time jump as well.
Yeah,
There is actually.
It's secretly not convenient.
Yeah. But they are like, oh shit, the terraforming operation has been attacked.
Or they've gone quiet.
They've gone quiet, yeah. So they send some space marines, and and Ripley comes along. Kind of, she don't want to at first, and she's like, "Yeah, fuck it, I've got nothing else on." So she goes with them.
Like, yeah.
Also, in that
In
57
bounce.
years, we find out they established that Ripley had a daughter.
Well, she says she has a daughter in the first movie.
Does she actually say that?
It's actually a bit of continuity there.
I didn't remember that.
Yeah. It's just a quick line.
Yeah. They basically, so it's like, oh, her daughter's dead. Which is important for, so I guess, character purposes in a way.
Mm-hmm. And the weird thing is, that's actually one of the cut scenes where they're like, yeah, your daughter Amanda is dead. Like, she died at like 66.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's really weird because thematically, it's such a useful fucking scene.
Yeah, like it makes so much sense. It sets up like Ripley's character completely.
Yeah.
Why they would cut it, I have no idea.
Yeah, it's absolutely bizarre. Anyway, they go to the planet, like all these space marines, and pretty much as soon as they get there, shit hits the fan like really hard. But I guess before that they find this little girl, Newt, and kind of take her, back to their kind of the bit they're using as their base, and then they actually take her to the armored vehicle, don't they? They've got that armored car thing.
Yeah.
So they take her to that, fuck off in the armored car, and then the space marines just get their asses handed to them like immediately because there are like a shitload of aliens.
Yeah, and the guy who's leading them, they're like, "How many jumps are you done?" And he's like, 2, including this one. Like, what? So they're all the Marines are like actually trained, but like this guy is just a fucking rookie. So yeah, Gorman does not do a good job.
Yeah, Gorman just freezes up. He's like, he has no idea like what he's doing. He's not giving like clear commands, and because they're firing guns and everything, they're kind of drowning him out.
Yep.
So Ripley's like, fuck it, I guess I'm in charge again, right? So she jumps behind the wheel of the armored car, just crashes it straight through the wall of the fucking terraforming base thing.
Yep.
And the Marines get in, but doesn't go that well.
Yeah, they lose a fair few guys on the way.
They lose some guys on the way. Then the alien gets trapped in the door of the armored car.
Yeah.
They shoot it. It's obviously full of acid, which behaves quite inconsistently in this movie.
Yeah, because getting sprayed with acid kind of burns your skin. Like, it's uncomfortable. But, like, remember when that tiny bit of acid, like, came out of the face hugger and then burned through like
Several
several
floors.
floors of the ship. It was like, yeah, maybe the acid was a bit too potent. Like,
And before anyone comes back with, yeah, but acid can eat through certain materials and not through others. Okay, but it does still eat human flesh.
yeah,
If it causes a burn, then it will eat it, and if it eats it, it will eat it at the same fucking rate.
yeah. Like, I can't
Or
remember
faster because it's a less dense fucking material.
what was
right?
it. Isn't because acid works because it's something like electron negative or something like that. So what it does is it just constantly keeps stealing electrons from whatever it's touching, and that's what actually causes the
Yeah.
dissolveness.
Yeah, so it would still eat through,
Yeah,
like, a human, just exactly the same.
yeah,
But instead it just kind of like mildly burns them. But then like even later in the same movie, when it hits some body armor, it like eats straight through that practically.
yeah.
So it's like it's very inconsistent. But anyway, they get away a few, with some serious losses, including their sort of, I guess, is he the sergeant?
Yeah, they lose the sergeant. They lose most of their gear. Yeah, and I think like two. No, it's like three other people. There's two people right away. Because one lady gets grabbed, and then as she's getting grabbed, she accidentally pulls the flamethrower and burns another dude. Then the sergeant gets grabbed, and I think one other guy.
Yeah.
Oh no, he gets sprayed with acid when they kill one of them.
Yeah.
And yeah. Okay, so then you lose like four guys like instantly.
Yeah, and so yeah, they've taken some serious losses. So they're like, do they call for evac like basically right then?
They're like, what the hell should we do? And then Ripley's like, we need to get the fuck out of here.
Oh yeah,
and nuke the whole site from orbit. And then the whaling utility guy's like, nah, man, like we need to find a more humane way of capturing these creatures. And she's like, Hicks is in charge. What the fuck are we doing, Hicks? Hicks is like, I'm gonna take off and fucking nuke the site from orbit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So they're gonna do that. They get the evac thing to take them back up to the ship.
Yeah.
But
those guys.
Unfortunately, there's an alien on it.
Yep.
And
the alien not so good at being a pilot because he's like, I want to fly the spaceship. It's my turn. So like, kills the pilot.
Yeah.
Apparently, you need like at least 300 hours in flight sim before you can like actually pilot properly.
Yeah. So it crashes. So they're then stuck on the planet.
Yep.
With the aliens at very minimal gear.
And that's where the famous line, "Game over, man! Game over!" comes in.
Yeah, it's weird. It's so weird. Like, I mean, we said this while we were watching the movie, but like, I think you were the one who pointed out, like, I think it's because it's not a movie that really has one-liners.
Yeah.
So when you have a line like that, it sticks out a lot more. Which is interesting because in any other movie, it really wouldn't.
Like they've got they're coming out of the walls, they're coming out of the guard. Because I think all of the actual quotable lines are him because he's freaking out.
Yeah,
that's basically it. Like, they're coming out of the walls, they're coming out of the goddamn walls. Like,
yeah.
And there's like one other one that he says like in the final thing, but I forgot what it is.
But yeah, they kind of hold up in a sort of certain part of the terraforming facility. They kind of weld two of the doors shut. The other two, they get these...
it becomes like a siege movie from this point.
Yeah, they have these like gun turrets they set up on the other two, and it's like, okay, like we're semi-safe right now.
Yeah.
Which doesn't really last very long.
No, not at all. Like, It is cool to see like them set up some choke points for the aliens to go down and like get gunned up by the gun turrets.
One thing that's good about this movie is, and I guess maybe because it's an action movie and not a horror movie, you don't have the annoying 9 times out of 10 the reason that bad things happen is because people are stupid trope.
Yeah, like that was the thing that I thought was really good. Like, what did they say? Yeah, we're leaving and we're going to nuke the site from orbit because, usually that's the problem with most things. Like, why don't they just leave? Just leave. But then they go, no, we need to discover the mystery, guys. But this is like, no, we're going to leave. And then the fucking ship crashes. So it's like, oh, cool, yeah, there's actually a reason. But, like, I ain't gonna lie, their plan originally is dumb because they're like, how long do we have to wait before they send a rescue crew? It's like 17 days. And like 17 days, and then like a few minutes later, Bishop, is like, yeah, this base is gonna explode in like 4 hours. So I'm gonna go like remote pilot the ship, and it's like, wait,
Yeah.
this is an option. Like, why didn't they send you like right away, man? Like,
Yeah.
But maybe people weren't thinking at the time. But, yeah.
Well, yeah, not having every idea right away isn't necessarily a sign of the characters being stupid. They did think things through. Also, it makes sense because while they are disorganized, they are still like military guys.
Yeah.
So strategy is like, remote piloting and stuff. That's not going to be what they think of, but figuring out how to best defend themselves.
Secure the area and try and like defend themselves. Yeah.
But the Wayland Yutani guy, whose name I can't remember, is like
Jensen. It's not his name, but that's the guy in RoboCop.
Okay.
Who gets shot up, I think it is, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
He's basically the same guy.
Yeah. So Jensen, Jensen, he has his own fucking shit he wants to do, right? He's literally doing what Ash is doing.
Yeah.
In the movie, which is cool because they kind of bait and switch you because because Bishop's an android, they kind of make you think Bishop's going to do that because there's one bit where he's like, "Oh, this is fascinating," when he's looking at the face, dissected face.
I wrote that down. I was like, yeah, dude was totally like giving us a fake out here. Like, oh, that's like that. He's like, it's marvelous.
But basically, Jensen is planning to smuggle an alien.
Yeah, back to Earth, even though he's seen literally what happens.
Yeah.
So it's a bad idea.
Yeah, his game plan is stupid. But he is like, oh, well, also Ripley found him out. So he's like, well, I want Ripley taken care of. And I want to smuggle an alien. 2 birds with 1 stone. I've got these face huggers in some jars. I'm gonna get her pregnant with an alien, and then freeze her, and when all the Space Marines are frozen, just eject them into space, take her back, make up a story, and be like, "Yo, got an alien."
Yep.
Doesn't really work out for him that well, surprisingly.
Yeah, no.
Because right around that exact time, all the aliens start converging.
Yeah.
And yeah, they basically break through by getting through. I'm guessing they get through vents or something. They're in the ceiling.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
So they end up having to bail. Fortunately, Bishop has managed to get the spaceship. There's a secondary evac thing that he calls to remote operate, like we said. He's managed to do that in that time, so it's all seems like it's gonna work out. Maybe, but they lose even more Marines in this whole thing.
Yeah.
Basically all of them except Higgs.
I ain't gonna lie, Vasquez goes out pretty awesome. She's just there and she's like, "You always were an asshole, Gorman."
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, Gorman and Vasquez die together with a grenade.
Yeah.
Which basically takes out a whole bunch of the aliens.
Yeah, so I ain't gonna lie. Part of me is I don't think Gorman deserved this honorable of a death, to be fair. He was just a douchebag.
Yeah. So then they're literally getting up to get onto the roof so they can escape. and the explosion from the grenade causes Newt to fall down to a lower level.
Yep.
And she gets taken by an alien because there's a slight retcon to how the aliens work. Well, a pretty major retcon to how the aliens operate from the first movie. In the first movie, shit's just going around killing people. Second movie, they take people away to put them in cocoons so that they can be put in front of the eggs and get impregnated.
Well, if we watch the extended version of the first movie, what actually happens to... Who's the captain in the first movie? I forget his name.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Well, anyway, that guy who died in the vents, his head gets turned into an alien egg. That's it's basically even if you go on the wikis or whatever, it's basically listed as like here's a thing that the aliens can also do, but we don't know why or have any knowledge about it or anything, because it basically was done in the movie in the extended edition, and it was never expanded upon ever after that.
Right.
But I think that was probably like the genesis of the idea of I'm gonna catch them and bring them to the eggs, right? So maybe like if you want, you could headcanon it slightly that head egg is meant to be that.
Yeah.
Kinda.
But yeah, anyway, but now what they do is like I say, they drag people, cocoon them up. So they do that.
Or they kill them.
Yeah, or they kill them.
Sometimes they do just kill people.
Yeah.
Like. Sorry. The guy who was freaking out, it wasn't Hicks. I don't know what his name is. He got captured, like, in that room, right? What was it? That one alien caught Newt. So, like, when Ripley goes back to get Newt, like, he's probably just there, like, and he's like, "Hey, Ripley! You're like, come on, Newt, let's get out of here." And he's like, "No, come on, I'm still here."
So Newt's been, like, cocooned. Ripley finds her and kills the facehugger, like, literally as it's about to jump on her. Grabs Newt, they go away, and then, oh, shit. There's, like, fucking all the eggs. They've ran to where all the eggs are, and they're right in the middle of them. And there's this big thing laying them, and oh shit, it's the alien queen.
Yep.
So, but Ripley's got a gun with a flamethrower attachment, so she's like, "Anyone for fried eggs?" And fucking just tortures them. So should have been a line.
I know.
They get away. They go onto the evac ship.
Yep.
Go up to the main ship, and the alien queen is like chasing them at this point. The alien queen's like pissed. So yeah, she's like just chasing after them and shit. They like narrowly get away, fly up in the ship, and then they get up into the main ship. They're going down the runway, and it's like, oh shit, the alien queen was hiding in a little compartment, even though it's giant.
Yeah. Like, what? Like, the alien queen managed to hide in one of the little nook and crannies on the ship. Like,
it's also, how fast did it do that? Because, like, it was mid-flight.
Yeah, it's like, and how heavy, like, is the alien queen? Because, like, surely, like, as you're flying away, like, oh, something kind of just jumped on and, like, pulled the ship down slightly, and now I'm having to compensate for a load of additional extra weight.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess I'll just ignore that.
Ripley gets Newt to run and hide.
Oh, that's a sure thing. We get the first actual on-screen tail kill.
Yeah. Bishop gets like stabbed with the alien tail like right through his chest. That's actually how she's revealed to be on the ship.
Yeah.
And he just fucking explodes. Like,
Yeah, and he's just like,
tears him apart.
like, no, all my milk. And he just starts
Yep.
spitting his man milk everywhere.
Yeah. Ripley's like, Newt, go and hide. And then she runs and gets the big, sort of less convenient version of a forklift truck that they use in the future for some reason. And it's basically a mech suit, right? So then she's like, yeah, let's fight. Stay away from her, you bitch. And then they have a big fight where Ripley holds her own better than she should be able to in something that slow moving.
Yeah.
With no face protection at all. She just lucks out that the alien at no point
just stabs her with the tail.
And, it tries to and misses once, and it's like, well, that didn't work. Guess I won't try that again.
Like, damn, that one attempt means it's futile.
It's a special move. It has to charge up.
Just burned all the meat.
She uses there's a little control panel on the mech suit thing that opens up the airlock. So then she basically forces the alien down into the airlock chamber, then gets out of the suit, opens up the airlock, fucking climbs up. It's all tense, but she gets up and shakes her, grabs her shoe and she shakes the shoe off, flies out the airlock just like how she killed the first alien.
Yep.
And they freeze themselves. It's like, hey, we survived. You can dream, Newt. This won't be much darker in the next movie. And that's the end.
Yeah.
So yeah, like we said, the characters are definitely a major improvement. But overall, I could accept the argument it's better than Alien to a degree. It's more that there is a definite change in what the series is.
Yeah,
and
it's not a horror movie.
It's not a horror movie, and as a result, it kind of loses that kind of nihilistic feeling that the first movie had and that the third movie really has. Because, it's a semi-happy ending. And they're the kid survives and everything. It's all
I asked you about which movie came out first, this or Predator.
Mm-hmm.
What was it?
This Aliens came out first, but I know James Cameron did work on Predator, and because that movie was in production hell for a long fucking time. I don't know if this is the timeline, but I feel like he would have been working on Predator before he was working on Aliens.
Right. And that's the interesting thing, because Predator is a action movie, but it's also a slasher movie.
Yeah, it's a secret slasher movie.
Yeah,
it's
where instead of teenagers, they're soldiers, and they all that's just how badass the Predator is, right? That it's the murderer that turns the murderers into children.
Yeah.
And yeah, Aliens basically does that with this. So it's they're it's an action movie, but the fact that they are then easily dispatched makes it back to being slightly horror-ish. I know that there is the criticism that all the intelligence just gets completely stripped from the aliens once there becomes multiple of them, because they just become idiot drones who walk into gunfire and die.
There is a degree of that, I think, although by the same token, they're still they do still manage to be a real threat the whole movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They are still, at no
But,
point is it like an easy thing. It's always a very,
in my head, the gun turrets wouldn't work. So the way I imagine that, okay, you've got like a bunch of them. They walk down, the gun turrets shoot the aliens. The aliens then go, oh shit. So they leave. Because like, if it was the alien from the first movie, just imagining that alien going down and getting shot at, it would be like, all right, I can't go that way. And it would just do something else.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't see the gun turrets burning 500 bullets on, like, them because they keep trying to get through the tunnel.
Yeah. That's the thing. They are more grunt-like. They are more...
So I see when people complain on that aspect, but again, I'm like, but like, there's so many of them that they don't need to be smart.
I think another thing, and this is not entirely the fault of this movie, it's more because this movie was so influential, and it really was. You can see its tendrils in so many different movies.
Yeah. Like games.
And games and all sorts.
Play Genesis Alpha 1. You play a starship captain on not the Nostromo, because you get to make your own ship. Make it the Nostromo if you want. You get like gun turrets, aliens board your ship. You have to crawl around in vents. Like the game is obviously like Alien, the video game, except without the licensed property.
Yeah. But I think the thing is that Alien is it's very atmospheric, but also it's so iconic. I can picture every single set, every single location, all of the designs of, like, the design of the alien, the design of the space jockey, all of it. It made a real impact. This movie, and this is a real thing, and it's a real reason it loses points for me. It wouldn't if it were any other franchise, but because it follows Alien, it feels a lot more generic. It feels like, yeah, it's a movie, and it definitely has James Cameron's stamp on it. It looks like the surface of the planet, and with the armored car and the landing crafts, they look exactly like the ones in Terminator.
Yeah.
And not too different to the landing crafts in like Avatar. He definitely has his mark. But aside from that, all the ships and everything look a lot more generic this time around, like the interiors and things. They don't feel anywhere near as much like they only belong to this movie. And I feel like because Alien was so iconic in that regard.
Yeah, there is a real, like, hey guys, welcome back to the 80s aspect of it. Like, I've seen the criticism where people are like, yeah, like in the first movie, it's all pretty, like, weird. They're just like these spaceship people. They're on a spaceship. They haven't got like recognizable clothes. They're just wearing jumpsuits.
Yeah.
And then, in comes Aliens, dudes in like a suit from like the 80s. They've got 80s haircuts. Sigourney Weaver, I'm sorry, your haircut was terrible in this movie.
Yes, it was.
Like, why did she cut? Because she had a regular style at the beginning. It looked fine. Anyway, they got like the trainers, like I think they're like Adidas or some shit. Like you're like, oh.
And the Marines as well have.
They look too close. I would have removed the American flags.
Yeah, they felt very tied to then modern day.
Yeah, I was like, it's the future, man. Like,
I think that's the thing as well, is like, if you watch Alien, I think if you showed someone Alien who didn't know anything about it, they'd struggle to tell you when it was made. Other than the fact that obviously it's dated in a weird way because it uses entirely practical effects, and that's not a thing anymore. So you'd go, well, there's no CG, so it's definitely pre that. But it could have been made. It was made in 79, but it could have been really at any point from like, I guess the early 70s through to the 90s, it could have, you
That
could
is
have had
true.
the exact
Yeah,
same
yeah,
movie.
yeah, yeah. That is true.
Whereas you can pinpoint the exact fucking part of what decade Aliens came out.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That is a very fair point.
Again, it's not a major criticism. It's more because of what it followed. Um, and again, this is where personal taste really comes into it, because of the thing that I loved about Alien was how unique it felt. I think that's part of the reason Aliens always felt kind of underwhelming to me.
Yeah.
Also, I kind of liked the more pared down thing, which is probably why I also really love Alien 3.
I actually also like Alien 3. I think Alien 3 is a good movie.
Alien 3 is actually my favourite one, I think.
I would say it's good, even like pointless tragedies aside. I just think, for me, the fact that there is so much more going on between the characters made it a lot stronger. We spoke last time briefly, but I couldn't really remember what it was, about the weird, like, strong female character that Ripley is, and like a criticism of her essentially losing her femininity to become like a more masculine character, making her like to become like a strong character.
She definitely regains a lot of that.
I was going to say, on like a rewatch of this movie, I'm like, nah, actually, I think Ripley is actually quite genuinely a female character.
Yeah, well, she's very maternalistic. Like,
yeah, because I was going to say, because like the driving force of the movie is, like you're saying, that maternal instinct that she has. Like, yes, there are things that she does do that make her quote unquote more masculine. She wears like more masculine clothing. Her haircut, which I was complaining about, is definitely like makes her more boyish. Like, I don't know if that's intentional. Maybe it is.
It's possible. I don't know.
Like, there are aspects of her that become slightly more masculine, but I think paying attention to how like motherly, affectionate she is, the like nice moments between her and Hicks, so showing that she can still be romantically involved with people.
I also like they don't dwell too much on that, like because there's also this element of, yeah, but this is not the time or the place.
Yeah.
So it's sort of more hinted at. It's more, I mean, it's more than hinted, but it's like, you know what I mean? But it's not really ever the focal point.
Yeah, like it's very obvious. Like, they even play at it. Like, he's like, "Hey, here, take this." It's like a tracking bracelet, and he's like, "Yeah, I can find you anywhere on it now if you have this." And he's like, "Hey, this don't mean we're engaged." It's like, yeah, you see, like, because like the two of them becoming like the husband-wife figure.
Yeah.
It's like their adopted kid. It's like,
but like the fact that like she immediately passes that to Newt, because like, well, obviously, right? She's and like, you know, is like the fact that when Newt falls down the thing, it's like, no, like, you know, fuck the rest of the plan. I'm getting Newt. That's the most important thing. It ties in so well though to that earlier moment, which is that cut scene in the theatrical cut.
Yeah.
Where a big part of that motivator is that she lost her daughter, who, while her daughter actually died in her 60s, she remembers her as an 11-year-old.
Yeah.
Or actually a 10-year-old.
Yeah, because she was going to be back for her 11th birthday.
Yeah.
So, no, 100%. Like, why it's such a clear motivating factor for the character why it would be cut. Makes no sense at all to me.
It seems like the sort of thing that would probably have ended up being cut because a test audience didn't like it. Because test audiences are full of fucking morons. They'd be like, It was too depressing. I didn't like it. It was depressing
Like,
for no reason.
you're watching Alien, man. Like, come on.
There have been moments where test audiences have led to horror movies cutting scenes for being too scary. That has genuinely happened because test audiences are just random people off the street who aren't like, they don't know about movies. They're just like, and they don't know what movie they're going to see. So they don't even know if it's like a genre they like.
Like, that's so weird. I would have always thought, like, if it was me and I was doing test audiences, I'd be like, hey, like, Siskel and Ebert, come watch the movie. Like, you know, like, obviously, those guys are dead now. I don't know.
Also, they had trash opinions. But
yeah, like you know what I mean, though.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, I would just be like, maybe we should just get, like, some reviewers in. Like,
I'd do that. I'd also get random people, but I'd also, like, vet them. So it'd be like, do you like movies in this genre? Or these style of movies? You know, tell me what movies you like. Get them to fill out questionnaires and then vet them based on that. Because, like, you want to tailor it to an audience, right? You want to tailor your, or more specifically, tailor your audience to your fucking film.
Yeah.
But it does that. I mean, I don't know that was a test audience thing, but it feels like a test audience decision, or more a executive decision based on feedback from a test audience. It can also just be sometimes like corporate decisions as well, because that can happen as well. Sometimes executives who aren't into that genre, but they've just bought in, you know, it's just money. They're like, well, it's too depressing.
I half imagine like it was probably like some exec, because they cut it for time, and they're like, oh, they don't need to establish that, you know, Ripley wants to be a mum. You know, she's a fucking woman. Like, of course she loves kids. Like,
see, it could be a time thing, because they're like, it's taken too long to get to that aliens.
Well, he does say, what was it? He cut the movie down for time at the start of the director's decision. So, I could see that, and then like in my head, just some corporate guy going like, we don't need to establish like that she like wants kids, like because like her daughter died or anything like that. Like, she's like a woman. Like, they got the fucking ovaries, raging hormones. They just see a baby and then they gotta have it. So like, we don't need to establish like a reason for her to want to care about Newt. Like, she's just the woman. Like, I half see some guy really skeptically doing that.
Yeah. To be fair, it's I mean, it's a funny thing, because I like when we watched that bit, because James Cameron has that little introduction to it, and I said like it is funny because like 2 hours and 40 minutes isn't even that long for a movie anymore. Like that's pretty standard for theatrical films. Like a lot of the Marvel movies are sort of around that length.
Yeah. Black Widow was 2 hours 40.
Like fucking, like I say, all the Transformers sequels are like longer than that. I think the longest one is nearly 3.5 hours. It's like, it's ridiculous how long some of those movies are.
They're so bad.
The Snyder Cut now exists, which is like, how long is that movie? Like,
I have no idea.
It's like something, isn't it like nearly like 5 hours or something? It's like 4.5 hours.
This dude's making like 5 hours worth of footage, and it's like, what are you doing, man? Like, surely when you write a script, like each page is meant to be like a minute. So why are you writing like a 500-page script for? Like, you know that you ain't gonna be able to get that. So what the fuck are you doing? Like, anyway.
But like this idea, but like now, I think because of streaming, the idea of like really long movies is a lot more appealing, I think.
Ah, man, it's because of Lord of the Rings.
It is because of Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings just changed everything. Everyone was like, wait, movies can be 3 hours?
Yeah, it's like people don't mind.
Like, it's like, damn, I thought it could only be Casablanca or something.
Now, I'm not going to lie. I want to go back in time, because 90% of movies have no right to be that long.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
just make your 90-minute movie and fucking move on.
Yeah. I hate that. You know when you watch some like real piece of fucking schlock, and it's like you look and it's like 2.5 hours. Fucking why? But yeah, but this movie, I mean, there's, having watched that, you know, like I say, the special edition, which I've definitely seen before. But it's like, I can't think of a single bit I'd cut.
Yeah. Like, that to me looks like a nightmare. Like, if someone's like, you gotta cut this down, I'm like, how?
And I didn't
like,
feel its
every
length.
scene is like integral.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, I didn't feel its length. There's no dragon.
Yeah.
Everything moves you to the next point. It's
Nah, you know what, man? I'll just cut all those Vasquez scenes. Like, what a pointless character. It's not like she's the best character in like the whole thing or anything. Yeah. I don't know, like, how I would not envy that as a task.
I tell you what, Vasquez. She like just the inspiration for every female Robert Rodriguez character.
Probably, yeah. Yeah.
Because they're all basically Vasquez. Like,
Yeah.
that's a definite thing. He likes doing that. Like, those exact types of characters. I mean, it's cool. It's... Again, it's one of the ways in which this film is very influential. That type of, like, sort of hard-nosed, like, badass, like, military chick. It didn't invent it exactly, but I think it kind of redefined it a little.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's cool. Like I say, it's not the worst trope. And, like, obviously Vasquez was going to be really influential because she's such a fan favorite.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
like
you said, to the point that when Colonial Marines came out, people were excited to have a gun with her bandana tied to it, even though she doesn't do that in the movie at all.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I remember that. I was like, yeah, you can get Vasquez's gun. He's like, wait, but that's not even slightly how it is in the movie. Like, what the fuck? Sorry, I wrote like part of the thing, and like when I forgot that when you were talking about going to rescue Newt, like obviously they're going to the alien queen's like lair, and I was like, they're going to Big Mama's house. And then, like, I just imagine, like, they get in there, it's just Martin Lawrence in a fat suit, like, in the basement, like, laying eggs, like.
He's still got that tube, like, he's, like, squatting, and it's, like, just under his dress, there's just that big, like, tube with the eggs coming out of
it. Like, just giant Martin Lawrence, like. It's just Martin Lawrence in the moo with, like, the shower cap on, and he's just fighting the power loader, like.
exactly the same.
Like, he fucking tears, like, fucking bitching it half. And then, like, just saying Martin Lawrence quips or something, like, just like phrases from the movie.
Oh, it'd be so much work to do an edit, but I also feel like it'd be really worth it. It'd be an absolute nightmare because you don't have a clean plate.
That would be so good. But like, oh my god, but Martin Lawrence has still got like the alien second mouth voice.
It doesn't make any sense.
Oh man, this thumbnail is going to be great.
Yeah, I guess I'll be on fucking Photoshop unless you want to do it. Oh man.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad I saved that for not doing the like story summary.
Oh, that is fucking brilliant. Okay, I don't think we're not gonna top that.
No.
Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the fucking bell. Don't bother.
Yeah.
And I'll link to the Patreon. You can chuck us £1 if you want. There are no perks. It just says chuck us £1, and you can chuck us £1.
Hey, my personal idea is like, I would much rather everyone just donate like £1, like literally just everyone, because then we would have £7 billion.
Exactly.
Like
So
Jeff Bezos was like, I'll give him £1. Like.
Yeah. So yeah, chuck us £1 if you want. And until next time, Ian Beale.
Ian Beale.